To get to your neighborhood grocery store in this 3,500-year-old city, you may have to brave the Crucifixion Way, cross the Bridge of Life, or pass by the Gates of Justice. Forget about plain old Main Street. The street names in Jerusalem reveal a fiery history of war, conquest, and politics mixed with religion. Oh, sure, you've got the streets named after generals and leaders, and even American presidents like Washington and Lincoln. Only in Hebrew it's spelled Lincoln. Bearing the scary name Valley of the Ghost Street hasn't prevented it from amassing an array of chic cafes and shops. The Dung Gate, despite its name, a popular meeting place in this biblical city. The Street of the Prophets. In any other city, this could seem zealously over the top. But here in the Holy City, you never know. Maybe Ezekiel or Daniel or Micha once walked on these streets. Streets don't always keep up with politics. Residents on Dahomey Street, named for the African country in the 1960s, want the name changed to Benin, matching the country's new name. But it can't be done since another city street is already called Benin.
Dahomey, who knows where that place is? Africa? What were they thinking? What, am I African?
One neighborhood has streets named for the horoscope. There's Capricorn Street, Gemini, Sagittarius, but no Virgo Street, since it didn't want to offend anyone who would feel uncomfortable living on the Virgin Street. Imagine living on Those Who Were Hanged Street, named for the pre-state Jewish underground fighters condemned by the British. Or Nerd Street. And here's Jimmy's Lane, yes, named after someone's beloved basset hound. Wonder who they knew in the city hall. The seam between Jewish West Jerusalem and Arab East Jerusalem has a warlike character. Israeli Army Square, Paratroopers Street, Engineer Corps Street, Central Command Square. The names were given after the annexation of East Jerusalem in 1967, apparently so the Arabs would understand who won and what was at stake.
It might be a bit funny or a bit odd sometimes, but it's part of the culture and people got used to certain names, so we've kind of let it be, I think.
Councilman Segev says he's struggling to deal with hundreds of nameless roads, many illegally paved in Arab neighborhoods. Needless to say, an attempt to name a street in an Arab neighborhood after an Israeli army general didn't go over so well.
It's not good at all. Most of the people here are Arabs, so if the name is changed, it should be named after an Arab personality or an Arab commander.
So now the city is looking to name them after something innocuous, like a flower.
We've got, in West Jerusalem, over 100 names that are waited to be called upon, and no streets, no new streets. So there's kind of a long waiting list. And on the other hand, we have on the east many streets with no names, and there's like a shortage of names.
There was an attempt to name a street after former U.S. President Bill Clinton, but there was one problem.
You have to be dead in order to get a street. Well, Clinton is still quite young. I don't know, maybe one day.
From Crucifixion Street in Jerusalem, this is Ariel O'Sullivan reporting for the Media Line.